Yeah. Welcome back to operating system class. And today I'll explain the continuous topic of the previous topic. In the previous topic, what I've explained, what is the process, states of the process, and scheduling. And next, operations on process I've explained. Okay, means what operations operating system will perform on a process. Operating system will perform two operations on the process. One is the process creation and the second one is the process termination. So how will you create the process? Process creation is nothing but creating a child process from a parent process. Okay, so how will you create a child process from the parent process? By using a fork system call. Okay, fork system call is used to create a child process from a parent process. Okay, next how a child process will be executed by using a EXEC. And the next the parent process will wait using a wait system called signal till the execution of the child process. Okay, so when the child process is created, for each and every child, there should be a separate ID should be generated, and next using a fork only it will be created. And when a child process is created, whatever resources it needs like a CPU time, file, memory, everything that should be given by the parent process. And if the parent process resources are not sufficient, then operating system will give the resources like a parent process. And next address space also I have explained. Address space means how from where you can search the child process. What actually child process is a duplicate of the parent. Okay, so that is whatever address is there for the parent, same address is shared by the child process. Okay, and the next one is execution. Execution means how when child process is created, how the parent process and child process will be executed, means together to separate. If it is together, means when two process means the parent process and the child process want to execute together. So what happened? They can execute concurrently, but if they don't want to execute, if the parent process won't execute together with the child process, then what happened? The parent process should wait till the execution completion of their child process. Means again it will give the wait signal. Clear? Because the operating system it won't allow the parent process to terminate unless until the child process has completed its execution. That was I explained in the last class. So here the only that information I will tell you pictorially. Here we have one diagram. The first one is the parent process. I hope you all see. Can you see this parent process? Parent process means here parent will create the child process using a fork system call. PID process ID equals to fork. This this system call will create the child process, and whatever ID is generated for that child process, that is stored in the PID. Understood? Now what is the PID value? Example, whatever child process is created, that child process ID. Now, if child process equals to 0, means the child process is created, there is no error. So what happened? That will be executed and exit. Exit system call is used to terminate the process. Clear? What is the use of exit system call? Exit system call is used to terminate the process. Understood all of you? Exit system call is used to terminate the process. Exit system call is given means the process execution is over. That is the one case. The second one, parent means it is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means more number of childs are there. Child is there, at least you can take minimum and maximum one child is there. It is greater than 0 means child is there. If child is there, then the parent process should wait. It is a system call, so you should give the parenthesis. If the wait system call is given, means the parent process should wait till the execution of the child process. Okay, till the execution of the child process. Then again from the exit, there is a signal to wait. Means the whichever parent process is waiting for the child to complete execution. Then if the wait signal is over, means exit signal is given to the wait. So what happened? The parent process can exit. Understood? Here the parent process is waiting for child process to complete its execution. So when the child process completed its execution, then it will give the signal to the parent process, means it will give them its status to the parent process. Okay, so when a child process is completed execution, then only the parent process can be terminated. Understand? So this, so I will write on the board, program I will write. Okay. This no need this edifies and all. This time being I will give the logic only. Int main. Okay. Next PID underscore T and PID. This is a variable which is used to store the address of the child process. Now next PID equals to fork. Okay, single equals to, you can take PID equals to fork, means we are giving a system call to execute a child process, to create a child process. Now give a semicolon. If PID less than 0, PID less than means there is no child process creation, then it should give printf standard error. It should give, what is error? So the child process is not created. Whatever error you will write, that will be printed. The next one is else. Next if you can take else if PID equals to 0. What it means? The child process is created. Okay, you can get the status of that. Now else, these two conditions are not satisfied, then what happened? F printf. Okay, F printf, if more number of child processes are there, then what happened? Child process not completed. Here I will write. I think you can't see it. Okay, F printf child process not completed, then the process should wait system call, it should get. Okay, here this is the data type which is used to create child process. Here this data type equals to PID. This is a variable. What is the use of this variable? Actually this variable is used to store the child process information. What information it will store? The ID of the child process. Now PID equals to fork, means here we are giving a system call. Fork is a system call which is used to create a child process. So here the child process is created and that child process information is stored in a PID. Means it is 0 or 1. Okay, 0 or null, whatever information is there, that will be stored in a PID. So here we have a different cases. One is if PID process ID less than 0. If process ID less than 0 means what happened? The child is not created, means some interrupt has occurred. The child is not created. Else if PID equals to 0, the child is created. Okay, and it will continue its execution. And one more situation where the child is created but they have not completed its execution. Then in that case, what you will get? If else, or you can take if PID is greater than 0. PID is greater than 0. If PID is greater than 0 means there are number of process, child process, they want to execute. Actually here a condition is no need, so that is why I am not written. The next means the next option is if it is less than 0 over, equals to 0 over, the next one is the greater than 0. Greater than 0 means the more number of process are waiting for the execution. So if more number of process are waiting for the execution, then child process are executing. Then what happened? The parent process should wait until the execution of the child process, because if the child process are not executed, then operating system won't allow the parent process to live. So that is why it should wait till the execution of the child process. Understood? And this is about the programming, and whatever picture is there, whatever picture I have given and whatever program I have given, everything hard copy I will give. And if it is possible, next class, not next class, in the coming classes I will supply this notes also. You don't bother about the notes. Whatever I am explaining, you try to concentrate. Clear? So for the child process, here how many conditions we have? PID less than 0, PID equals to 0, PID greater than 0. That is an option, so that is why here I have not given. Less than 0 means child process is not created. Equals to 0 means child is created. And greater than 0, more number of childs are ready to execute, they are executing. So that is why the parent process should wait. Understood? Now, the next here the continuation topic is the child process termination. Process termination. Process termination means execution is over. Okay, when the process execution is over, then we'll use the exit system call. It will use the exit system call. When it will give the exit system call means that process execution is over. Okay, now here process execution, this termination, there are two types. One is a normal and the second one is a abnormal. Normal execution means whatever resources the child process needs and whatever resources it needs and whatever files it needs, whatever devices it needs, all the devices and all the files are given to a process and it completed its execution. That is called as a normal. Normal termination. Termination is nothing but closing, completed its execution. Now come to abnormal. What does abnormal means? One process is running and that want a file. Example, I am executing a process and in that program one file is there to upload, but that file is not there in the system. So what happened? Due to some interrupt, that process has not completed its execution. That is called as a abnormal. Clear all of you? Means if the process is completed its execution completely without any interrupt, that is a normal termination. And next, when the process not completed, abnormally it is stopped from execution, then that is called an abnormal termination. Clear all of you? Now, here one point is that when process completed its execution, when process completed its execution, what it has to do? First one, when process completed its execution, it should inform the operating system that, okay, you try to remember the point, when the process completed its execution, it should inform the operating system that it has completed its execution and whatever resources are given to that process, that can be deallocated. Deallocated means whatever allocated, whatever is given, that can be deallocated, means that can be taken back by the operating system, because it is a duty of the operating system that whenever any process completed its execution, whatever resources are given to that process, that should be taken back by the operating system, so that resources can be given to another process. That is the first one. It should inform the operating system. Clear? The second one is, see, it is not visible actually, so I am having this. Again I will write. First one is, it should inform. It should inform the operating system to deallocate the resources. Now, the second one, it should inform the parent process. Next, it should inform the parent process about its termination, because whatever status is there, that status should be given to its parent process. It is a condition that whenever any child process is terminating, in whichever state it is terminating, that status information is given to a parent process. Understood? First one is whatever is there whenever any process is terminating, it should inform to two programs. One is the operating system and the second one is the parent. Why operating system? Because the operating system has given some resources that should be given back to the operating system. So that is why it should give the information to the operating system to deallocate the resources. The second one is to the parent process. Why to the parent process? Because parent process is created the child process. So when parent process created the child process, when the child process is terminating means completed its execution, then that information should be given to the parent process to store the status of that. Clear? Because the parent process may wait for a child process to complete its execution. Sometimes it may happen. So whenever the child process is terminating, it should give its status information to the parent process. Excuse me. Next, the possible conditions when a child process, and there are some situations. First one is the normal, just now what I have explained, the normal. When the program is executed successfully, process is completed, executed successfully, then it will give the its status information to the operating system and the child process. Sorry, it's a parent process. But when any child process is terminated abnormally, actually when the child process is terminated abnormally, a parent process can stop the execution of the child process. Okay, in some situations, a parent process can stop the execution of the child process in the three cases. The first one, whatever resources is given to a child process, and some resources are given by the parent process to the child process, but child process exceeded in a usage of resources, means it exceeded the limit of using resources. Example, I have given 3 files, but it is used 4 and 5 files. So in that cases, what happened? Forcibly, the parent process will move the child process into an exit state, means in the termination. A parent process can terminate the child process. Understood all of you? When the first one, when the parent process, means when the child process is exceeded the limit of usage of the resources. In that case, the parent process may terminate the child process. The second one, whatever work is assigned to the child process, that work is no longer required. Example, I have given a average and total. Okay, total and printing of total I have given example. 3 tasks given. Printing of total is a one sub part. That is not needed actually, because however the total is transferred to the average. Okay, so what happened there? Whatever work I have assigned to the printing, that is no need. So what happened in that situation also, a parent process can terminate the child process. Okay, next, the third one is when the parent process want to terminate. When the parent process itself, it want to terminate, then what happened? Automatically the operating system, it won't allow the parent process to leave when the child process are executing. So in that situation also, abnormally the child process is terminated abnormally. It's a forcibly abnormal condition. Clear all of you? This is about the process, operations on process. Clear? Now, just I will give you the brief what I have explained today. When any process is created or when any process in the system, there are different operations performed by the operating system on the process. The first one is the creation of the process, The second one is the termination. To create a process, it will use a fork system call. When the child process is created, it is a duty of the parent process and the operating system to give the resources to that child process, and the operating system will store the process ID. And next, the parent process it will give the different signals like EX, EC, execute to execute the process. Clear? Now, sometimes due to some interrupt, the process may terminate or the parent process may terminate its child process. Okay, that is called as a termination. Clear? Termination means actually in the termination also I have explained two stages, two types of termination. One is the normal and the second is abnormal. Normal means process completed its execution. It got all the resources from a parent process, everything it got, and it successfully completed its execution. That is called as a normal termination. But process is not completed its task completely due to some reasons. If the process is terminated, that is called as an abnormal termination. And when a process is terminated abnormally, in some situations, a parent process may terminate its child process due to some reasons. First one is when child process is exceeded usage of its resources. Means whatever resources the parent process has given, more than that if the child process has used, then the child process will be terminated. And whatever work is given to the child process that is not required right now, in that case also the parent process can terminate child process. Next, and the last one, what point I have explained actually, a process, whatever task you have given, that block is not needed and we don't want to execute that block. In that case also a parent process can terminate. Clear all of you? And this is about operations and process. And only one topic left in the third chapter, inter-process communication, and the next consumer problem. And that will complete in the next class. With that, third chapter will over and only one chapter left in the first unit. Okay, that will also take only 3 to 4 classes. I hope you all understood today's class. Okay, bye. Thank you.